3 maps. Or if you're the team that's got your map pick up second, you can use your composition from map 1 on map 3. But we're gonna see actually what we're gonna get from the agent composition here. I'm expecting the double duelist coming out here from alternate attacks. We've seen it a lot from them, and it's actually worked pretty nicely. But maybe not. Well, I think that they're fielding a slightly different lineup.
Yeah, both teams are going to opt to forego Viper in Corrode, which is fine. That's a different comp that we have seen. But Bind does offer you the opportunity to pick Brimstone and Sky, which are 2 agents that generally you're not really going to pick on any other map. So that is why we've seen, I think, a lot of these maps start out in Bind, and alternate attacks maybe opting for a Clove as their main smoker as well. They're going to have a triple? No? Okay, I was going to say. But that means they're not going for the Brimstone. Instead, they're going to cycle through Clove, Omen, and Astra over the course of the series, which is an interesting pick. I mean, we've seen, I think, only Brimstone as the main smoker on Bind so far, at least in our games.
Yeah, that seems to very much be the case, and I'm very interested to see. I think you can't really trust on Clove to solo smoke here, so having that Viper is going to be kind of important. Is going to mean that you can't bring it onto Corrode, so that is going to raise some questions for me. Yeah. But I'm curious to see. I like it. Maybe a little bit of a comfort pick coming out here. This is not the lineup that we saw play in Spotlight exactly. So that's got my eyebrows raised a little bit. We saw Shazion playing in no, we got Shazion. It's Stavros that wasn't playing.
Well, we'll have to see how that affects the team. Obviously, I think changing your roster several times can have an effect on the, you know, the interlinkedness of the team and the interplay, your chemistry as a team. You know, I think rosters that stay together tend to win together. Obviously, Team Liquid Academy, we touted over the course of 2025 as a team that had such good chemistry because they had stayed together the whole time. When you're backed by an organization, I guess that is possible.
You've just done the Valorant equivalent of friendship is magic.
Friendship is magic.
See what makes the dream work.
My little Brimstone.
My little Brimstone. Oh, magnificent. Anyway, straight away into the pistol. I don't know how to segue from that one. It was something otherworldly.
Yeah,
but,
fair.
I mean, we've got a little bit of time to talk because it's a very passive start here for BLX to this pistol round. They've kind of tried to weather any initial storm, draw out a little bit of utility. It's been fairly successful. aTTax going to be the first up to make contact on the other side of the map. It's all a little bit of a bait and switch. Does manage to find one, but actually teammates are going to be left wandering over towards B instead.
Shazion's in no man's land up there, but able to avoid the gunfire for the time being. 3 players hold up in hookah. They still want to deal with on long. Shazion turning around the corner just in time to get that trade there, but no support just yet. Coming round is Bray. Bray doesn't manage to replicate some of the success that they've seen over the course of the tournament so far. It is BLX Corp on top. It's just Blossy left. Sheriff in hand. Been with the Orc for a while now. Gets that first one. Actually, very possible with 2 players on incredibly low health. No matter where you hit them with the Sheriff at this point, it is looking good. Takes a lot of damage there on the side of the wall, but that is a well-placed wall to help her get on towards the spike. Starts the defuse. Gonna have to deal with some of these players at some point. Half is done. Has to reload, and Kipperman will just finish it off. BLX Corp got dangerously close there to losing that advantage, but well managed in the end.
Yeah, it's a difficult one there. I think that this opening duel draws so much attention. It gives them a lot of foothold to get onto site pretty scot-free here. Shazion finding that pick does throw a couple of questions. It keeps this team pretty divided, but all things considered, it's a pistol round. You can't necessarily put the whole world of stock in it. And it's well fought there. The wall, it's a little haphazard. So much damage done just trying to get it placed as well, which is HP you really need when you're up against the pistols. But alas, not meant to be. And here we got aTTax once again. Oh, not going to check the corner here. Blossy might have an amazing advantage. Right click straight to the face.
Nobody else to deal with as well, so that's free Marshall in hand. Kipperman will take out Stavros over towards the middle part of the map. And things equalize once again, and I think both teams really playing this cautiously somehow. No shots land for the Bulldog. Shazzy unable to make a second. With the Sheriff there. It does make things a little awkward for BLX Corp, who really wanted to convert this advantage that they had. Trey again taken down quickly, but Celia is there with the trade. Keeping alternate attacks in things, making those weapons work for themselves.
Shazzy needs something magnificent here. Misses the first shots, can't quite back away there, but player and a half left alive on both sides. But that Sage Heal coming on through is going to be a huge advantage against BLX here. Now have to retake this space. Post plan's well established, and I like that they've tucked somebody into elbow here. Don't even need to peek. In fact, I wouldn't recommend it.
Gonna be a difficult one. Very possible to do. They've had worse odds, and they almost made it work out in the pistol round. They're playing with time now. They know they've got plenty until that spike starts to get to the final phase. Water breathing, sprays down. Celia. Oh! The right click with the classic will finish it off.
I mean, it's been pretty close, and there's been a lot of back and forth there. I love the opening start there. The super quick push up means that there's not even any checking it. That's a Marshall picked on over. The issue is that trying to find a way to get that Marshall back into the round when, again, these A places have all just been distractions for this B push instead. I'm trying to figure out, you know, water breathing.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Are you on it?
I'm on it. Yeah.
Ah, one step ahead of me, always.
Yeah. I said it, and then I was like, that's
that's just not a name.
Yeah. No, we'll get on that one so that we can qualify the correct name. Unfortunately, without the beautiful barracks overlay, it is difficult to know what everybody is called
Barracks, my
when
beloved.
yeah, exactly. It's had its times, but it's definitely been more useful than not. By the way, Alucard.
Your duty is not over.
Risky. I mean, the spray through the smoke's gonna get both of them. The resurrection actually gonna lead to more demise than good here.
Spike down A.
Sprays down, does leave ultimate attacks in the right here. Celia in the corner, gets one. Oh, almost a second onto Roos as well. Stays alive, needs to be taken out by Shazian. Looks like this may just be a good matchup here. Usually when things go 2-1 in the first 3 rounds, you're in for a good time.
Exactly. I think something to caveat that round with, though, is the weaponry coming in was not great from BLX. It was not a particularly pretty fight. They still managed to get a fair amount done with it. I'm curious to see. We've got a judge out for Celia, and then we've got the op out for Alucard. So we've got.
Solved it.
Oh, have you? Who is it?
The flanker is Johnny Boy, and water breathing is Pogi.
Okay.
I think. That's as far as I'm aware.
Let me.
We'll have to get confirmation on that one, maybe. And update our memory bank so that we don't say silly names instead of their real names.
I mean, we've seen some silly things this tournament. This would not be the way
well,
this
here's the thing. As long as Johnny Boy keeps flanking, we don't have to call him anything but the flanker.
Exactly.
That one works in a sentence.
Okay, production says some confirmation. Now, this judge, it's awkward in this position. There's not much opportunity for retreat if you get overrun. So this has to be something glorious and upfront.
Yeah, Celia is going to be face checked here probably pretty quickly by a prowler, so he's going to have to play it safe around this corner or not. The Haunt will come out first. I'll go right past them as well. Comes out with the charge. Able to get one. That's all she wrote, but that's absolutely fine in the end. That's the kind of trade you want. Out comes Prey. It's Prey's time to wake up here.
One enemy remaining.
Has been instrumental for this team so far, but Blossy comes in for support as well. It's just Alucard left with the operator.
I got to Spike.
Spike in hand, can play it for their time.
Satchel out.
Prey's going to move around. And they're going to play this one as a unit here, alternate attacks. Clearing out lamps. They will come to a rude awakening
Gonna be close.
shortly.
10 seconds
Oh
left.
wait, Bossy's just going to go straight for it. Okay, doesn't get even, but
Spike
still
planted.
locked down in the corner here. Oh, operator in hand, not able to find the first shot. Knows that one has jumped down at this point. Still holding that angle. It's a good shot. It's a good flick. Prey is taken down. Dimensional drift will allow alucard to reposition as well. Sees the final. Player can't get it done. Blossy clutches.
Lovely stuff, and I love the idea. You got to give credit for the dimensional drift being fully committed just to reposition there, and immediately jump back out of. Because yeah, you can't use weaponry, but I would have thought that, you know, would have wanted to either reposition a little bit further or use it just to stall for a bit longer. But no, I love the idea of it. Unfortunately, Blossy's just clocked it immediately. Very well done. Again, but it's coming down to these super close rounds, and I think that's what we were talking about, is when it goes 2-1, you know you're in for a good game. Lovely shot from alucard just to pluck the rays from the sky. But, yeah. Super close one. I'm loving some of the intuition, some of the ideas coming out here. It's going to be not exactly a perfect buy from either side. They're definitely favoring alternate attacks. But a lot of ultimates available and online or nearby for both teams. You know, you've got Celia online, Shazian and Prey not far behind, and you've got 2 for the side of BLX. I think this round could very much be a matter here for BLX of just trying to find those orbs to make sure they come into round 6 with just an immense amount of firepower to try to turn the tides.
Yeah, I think so. And at this point, yeah, alternate attacks, holding on for that round, super important, I think, both economically and just in terms of making sure that they are kind of in charge moving forward. Again, I do think that they come into this one, especially with that map veto, as kind of, I don't know if I can call it the underdog. It's not a vast difference. There is not a valley between them, but I think on paper,
Go get him.
not quite the favourites against BLX Corp in this form. And therefore, you got something to prove.
Exactly. Prey having a little bit of a look, holding the angle. Orb's gonna go out. Has to be very wary now. They're gonna encroach. Choosing to stay up top, boosted here.
Plenty of players, plenty of targets to deal with. Finds one, absolutely fine. Backing out now, Blossy unable to get anything done. Kipperman moves in, ultimate, taking him out. He's found 2 in the meantime.
Last player standing.
Oh, the
Spike down.
Shazzy's position.
Yeah, oh, it's perfect as well. The timing is so good. Takes one by surprise, and then alucard can't do anything to deal with it.
Yeah, it's a lovely one. I was about to criticize that Shazian's lurk was a little bit slow and question whether it was going to be too important because everybody else was on site, and if they'd chosen to stuck with A, it could have been a little bit of a worry there. But actually, the decision to pivot from BLX, having Shazian accidentally in the perfect place, means that they all kind of crumble pretty quickly. There's no opportunity. That spike gets dropped in the most uncomfortable to recover positions. It also means that even if Shazian doesn't find both, can just get one, stall long enough that the rotates can come through, you know, spawn. And that's exciting to see. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from both sides. Their alternate attacks actually pulling ahead a little bit here. BLX timeout called. We talked about that round being maybe just trying to set themselves up in the best way possible coming in to round number 6. So a timeout being called ahead of it gives them a chance to sort of figure out a set play that they want to run with, you know, 2 ultimates online, one being, you know, a point away.
Yeah. BLX Corp, unable to really find a massive amount of success in gun rounds, but everything has come at a massive price for alternate attacks so far. They are keeping that economy low over the course of the round losses for BLX. And that's an important part. It does mean that when they do finally get that round win, they have an opportunity to slingshot themselves forward in terms of the round count. They're going to be hoping for something here, but alternate attacks going on. Growl, and Roos can't quite find the shots to take down the first player. Alternate attacks more than happy to take that player advantage and get out of dodge with it.
Yeah, I think we've had full confirmation now. Water breathing being Poji and the flanker being Johnny Boy. And the flanker, case in point, no longer flanking, leading the charge here directly into Prey's line of sight. Spotted 2, takes down the first nose. There's somebody else hanging around here, desperate for this fight, or at least desperate to hold off the pick. There's the satchel to go on out, bounce them back, give them the opportunity to retreat, and actually, they're going to double down on heading B here, still having not dealt with Prey.
Great shot there from Johnny Boy to take out one, but so far, alternate aTTax have been incredibly good at just not letting BLX Corp get any trades going, play the fundamentals that they want to. And with the Viper's hit locking off A short, it does mean that kind of pigeonholed over here towards B. Rez comes through onto Stavros, and Blossy does a great job defending that body as well from Alakar. Only 2 players remain, and well, they're going to take their chances with the Viper's pit rather than head over towards B into that firing range of alternate aTTax.
And that's the thing with the double healer. Everyone back at full HP. It's not going to matter too much. With only 10 seconds, there's nothing they can do here.
Left.
But I've been liking what I've been seeing with them always keeping themselves at full HP here amongst them. It means they can go for a lot more of these aggressive fights. Actually, there's a chance here that Johnny Boy doesn't actually survive. They are trying to hunt this down here. Shazim really going for it. Is going to fall. It's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. And they make it expensive, and they really built themselves a bit of a lead to stand on here. They are seemingly indomitable right now.
Yeah, lots to be happy for alternate aTTax for the time being, of course. That's what you would hope for on their map pick, but...
I love the res as well, because you're worried about Long. You've got nothing blocking off Long. You've got Hookah's completely smoked off, right? That res not only acts to get the 5th player back up, but acts as sort of an incentive to peek it so they can deal with the Long player. It's very nicely drawn out, and opening pick drawn out as well.
Yeah, the same play from alternate aTTax, sending 3 players out of Hookah just as a death ball into the BLX Corp side, and BLX Corp have fallen for it 2 times in a row. At the very least, lost a player 2 times in a row. Of course, they need to get out of there before the incendiary takes them out. Celia taken down, but that's what the ult is for, and brings himself back to life. Able to get out of there. 2, while not necessarily 3 kills, they still have that player advantage, even if they have suffered quite a bit of health loss.
Gonna need to be
Well,
huge here. Yep. Gonna need to be huge. The snake bite there just makes it very worrisome. Stalls from even getting onto site, allows even more time for Shazian to get into position. But it's going through walls, low HP on a lot of these players. All it's gonna take is 1 bullet.
Yeah, walking out, just hoping that the coast is clear, but of course it is just some smokes that divide them from the full side of alternate aTTax. It's good shots there, starting out from Roos and from Pogi to get things going, and out comes Johnny Boy from the side as well. Suddenly, it's only down to 2 players for alternate aTTax. Out comes the Nightfall, but Prey is cleaning up house. Blossy gets on the board. It's a 1v1 to close things out. Orbital Strike doesn't do anything to deter her. Getting on the spike, the smoke, the one-way in front of her. She might just stick this one. It might just work out for her. It's looking good. Oh, 0.06 seconds is all that separates there Johnny Boy from not being able to get that kill, but manages to get it done in the nick of time.
I absolutely love this play. The slows to just to buy the time, to at least half it. And sometimes, you know, the sound cues to come out from it as well, right? And I think in that situation, you do just have to stick. It was so close. Johnny Boy, I mean, I'd be thanking my lucky stars on that one. But did so much there. The orbital strike just to whittle it down, to buy the space to reposition, to get into this sort of clutch position. Blossy, it's been looking really good so far. Wall goes up, is going to stop Alucard, who's been a bit of a menace with these opening picks towards Showers.
And you can see the conditioning that's gone on here in 2 BLX Corp players.
They're so scared.
High-lowing over towards B short there. However, this time around, alternate aTTax not going for a peek. Blossy consistent with the picks. They actually went for a push over towards A short this time, made that one work. Great. Holding this down, almost gets the collateral, but regardless, takes out Johnny Boy. Gonna have to deal with Alucard as they come out of the teleport. However, Alucard either wasn't paying attention or the smoke was up. Not sure which one.
I think it's quite good that they took that early space, otherwise that teleport gets held, and then suddenly you've got a Raze trapped in the teleporter with no escape. Lossy takes a little bit of contact, immediately going to heal up, fall back, luring them in, but actually it's a complete turn on their heel to hit B, but Shazin, I think, has got a little bit of an idea about this, and the Viper's Pit coming out is only going to be assurance of that. Give him a lovely kill there.
With Shazin taken down, Viper's Pit on the ground. Odds relatively even here. Showstopper from Kipperman to, at the very least, zone out the alternate attack players.
Planted.
No idea that Stavros is still in this corner, though. This is a instrumental position. They just managed to find any kind of player here as the BLX Corp players go hunting. I mean, don't really want to displace Pogi here from outside of the Viper's Pit. It's doing so much work in just controlling the position. Pogi finds the first, leaving it to a 3v3. Alternate attacks unable to really find an advantage anywhere here. Prey with the operator, still 2 players to deal with. That's one, maybe the final one as well, but the time is ticking down, and unfortunately no matter of heroics, no matter of amazing flick shots is gonna do it for you here. Pogi clutches it out with the Viper's Pit.
There are so many small moments in this that I absolutely adore. So I love that they bring down the Viper's Pit. They lure them in, right? Is that they play within the Viper's Pit, which means that Shazian's whole position, we talk about lovely position for Shazian, doesn't matter. They're all in the smoke. They're not looking outside of the smoke. They don't care, which means that all of the positioning in the world's not going to stop it, because they're forcing you, they're drawing you to come and fight in this Viper's Pit. The moment that you step into the Viper's Pit, you're out in the open, they drop it, and there you are, sitting ducks. I absolutely adore it. And now 4 versus 4 on the scoreboard. Immediately, Alucard Dimensional Drift is going to clear out so much space here, going for even more. There's a bit of a fight going on down long, and actually it's going to need to be the attention drawn. Alucard immediately taken down, and all faces turned back towards long.
Yeah, that has made alternate attack's job so much easier, and Stavros should just clean up. Oh, might just have to cut the losses and get it out there. Unfortunately, Bruce will take advantage of that, but the damage has really, really been done now. It is a 1v3, and on top of the wall, Bossy unable to find the pick.
Bring them down.
Hold on. If you keep taking 1v1s against Bruce here, it could go very, very wrong for you. Prey, operator in hand, saved up from last round. Able to pick that one off, make it 5 rounds for alternate attacks. Almost letting the match slip away from them in terms of momentum, but holding on to things.
Yeah, just about. We've been wanting to see it. It's come down to a lot of these 1v1s. This time the op is going to reign supreme. And that flash was otherworldly there. The fact that Stavros doesn't immediately find Roos there is almost criminal. And the fact that Roos can then spiral this into a little bit more. Luckily, you know, Prey ready and waiting in the sidelines there. Bai's not going to be looking good. They've got just a judge here on Kipperman to try and find something pacey and aggressive to really go for this pop, but the issue that they have is so much space already taken, being held at bay at the extremities.
BLX Corp unsure in this round, going for more of a measured approach, waiting, gaining a bit of information. Don't face anything too quickly. That is part of the reason why Prey and Celia, each with 1 shots of their own. See, they're doing a lot of work as well, and BLX Corp, the eco isn't going to work out for them, I don't think. Especially the ranges that they're taking. Fights Stavros, playing an aim trainer there over towards Hookah, and it is finally left. Not much you can do with a classic from there, and while Prey doesn't manage to get the pick, they have bodyguards.
Exactly. I think that there's a lovely read in here, knowing that the economy is probably not going to be amazing. That, you know, Celia buys up into this judge just to tuck on in, hoping that they go towards this site and that she can just tuck on in, hope that there's something aggressive, pacey, that they're not really going to be taking too much map control carefully, that they're just going to throw themselves at the site and see what they can do with this eco. So I think it's a lovely read there, just to have this very, you know, weapon, sole purpose being destroying a rush there. Lovely call. Here we go. Straight away, Alucard back into showers. Is going to be a little bit of a menace, but Blossy is ready and waiting. Blossy has started dominating this quadrant of the map. This time, though, Kipperman is reinforcement. Orb is going to get picked up. Blossy not going to overstep here.
Shazzy, however, looks to do quite the opposite. Walking up into Fountain. Doesn't manage to get the pick either. Bogey quicker on the trigger. Does give BLX Corp an advantage towards the start of the round. There is a res available for alternate attacks, but getting Sage into that position is going to be quite difficult. You can see there is a switch up coming round in terms of players, so maybe they will try and extend themselves into that one, bodyguard the Sage through to that corpse. In fact, that is exactly what's happening. BLX Corp, though, ready for it for the time being. Up pops the res, a flash will bodyguard it. It is good. That's incredibly good. Stavros able to find 3 off the back of it too, and somehow getting a player back in a very, very awkward position is exactly what alternate attacks needed.
It's the flashes have been just immense from Stavros, right? They have been finding 3-4 people. They've been so impactful is the big one. And to be able to isolate 3 fights there. Spike gets dropped in arguably the worst possible position, right? The fact that Blossy's there and available to immediately trade on this final pick, right? It is lovely trade spacing. And usually we talk about the Sage Resurrect. It's a very situational ultimate, right? It's very difficult to find impact from because bodies don't usually die in somewhere that's easy to res. So the fact that they have actually been meaningful and they have been able to come on through has been a really nice sign to see. Wall goes out, going to stop them even bothering to take that fight there. Wall's going to get destroyed a little bit, but Rossy's not willing to let them get a line of sight in here.
Alucard up close. But alternate attacks have already cleared out before any damage can be done to them. Blossy clearing up as well. Prey and Blossy have just been a dynamic duo today so far, and Celia will finish it off. The half goes to alternate attacks quite convincingly. I think their fundamentals have just been insurmountable for the time being.
Yeah, they've just been looking very fundamentally clean, right? It hasn't even necessarily been too flashy plays. It's just been, you know, finding out what the conditioning that BLX was going for and actually kind of meeting them on their own turf there. You know, taking those showers fights or preventing them and really adapting to how BLX was wanting to play. And when BLX's, you know, Alucard taking the opening pick, finding that space to create space elsewhere on the map isn't working, falls a little bit flat. It's just been really nice reads and just really nice, solid Valorant coming out here.
That's what you love to see. It's exactly what they need if they do want to take this series, keep themselves in Project Blender. Of course, winning this does not get you into stage 4. It simply
stops you not being in stage 4.
Exactly, yes. It keeps you from the cut, and that is all that matters here. Every game you'll see today is an elimination match, whether you're on our stream or the B stream over on Project Blender _. I believe there are some great matches happening as well, so you might want to keep 2 tabs open.
Grenade!
Yeah, match on the other stream. Willie G Palace versus Nuxeria right now.
I do believe Job Life is later today, though. So
yeah, they are.
Job Life fans are here, which I'm assuming waiting for their games. Will be over there
planted.
as well. Wonderful cast either way. Oh! Well, moving straight through lamps here. BLX Corp are able to completely dismantle alternate attacks. Bossy can't get anything done in the back of sight either. Spike is down on the ground. Celia has to defend it to the best of their ability. But that wall is absolutely perfect to hide that final player. Wasn't looking likely either way. Yeah, BLX Corp with a convincing pistol round.
Yeah, situations like that you worry a little bit when you see the low HP, but 1 versus 4, as you said, the wall blocks off the line of sight mostly, which keeps, you know, the physical player diffusing safe, and then just sending all of the bodies at it. You know where the last player is, you might as well just human meat shield just to get it through. It's the pistol round. It can be expensive. It doesn't matter all too much if it comes down to, you know, lower numbers, and it doesn't actually. You know, 3 still left alive at the end's nice going. There's going to be a little bit of an investment here. I mean, Shazion's being something else with that Sheriff, so I'm not surprised that we're going to see it here. Keep in mind, oh, this is aggressive. Gets caught with Util in hand. Actually manages to pull the Bulldog out in time. Finds the first one. Spike's going to get dropped, but then the rest of the team activates.
Bring them down.
One enemy remaining. Quick part of the round there. Prey caught out in the corner. Hide and seek not going to work out in their favor. It is just Celia left. And lying in wait is Pogi. BLX Corp again take the first 2 rounds of the half, but we saw how that turned out for them in the first.
True, but at least they're keeping it close, right? 8-4 half it's not quite, you know, the 9-3 curse where suddenly it creeps up on you, but it does creep up on you a little bit quicker. As you win the pistol, you win the conversion, suddenly it's 2 rounds within it. Couple of things here. The judge, we've talked about it a bit, is there are optimal ranges for it, and when you're standing out there in the open, when they haven't quite got past that choke point yet, you know that you're not exactly in a position that if they've got any amount of health left that you're winning that fight. So situational weapon, not really in the best situation. Prey going for this opening pick. Takes the scope away for a second and is unfortunately going to get caught a little off guard. But live and let live. Both players will walk away scot-free for now. Blossy jiggling the angle, just hoping that a fight is going to be given. Is not, so they're going to have to start taking this space. And Logie holding on to dear life. Actually, attention being drawn away. Doesn't quite know where they want to position their attention.
aLaCar waiting patiently. It's a good flash to cross a couple of players over. Maybe taken by surprise here. Indeed. Stavros gets that kill. Pogi around the corner. Oh, jumps back up into Hookah. I know exactly where they are. There's about 50 different pieces of utility on the ground to avoid in there too. Blossy gets the kill eventually. No doing here for BLX Corp as they try and make their way back in towards side. It is there is a Vandal in hand, so doable. That's one of the mountain that is 5 players on the alternate attack side. Well, make that 6 essentially. The Clove can come back.
Yeah, and the thing is, now you don't really have too much worry. You know that you've got time on your side. It's a 1 versus 5 as you know they're not likely to be going for anything more than a couple of exit picks. It does just mean that you can turn all attention. You know, you don't have to have anybody watching. You know that you've got a safe exit path here, so they can just run into spawn without a care in the world, knowing that they have got nothing to worry about. In fact, Prey there doesn't even look to be, you know, hands on the keyboard.
Take a little break. Why not?
Why not, you know?
Stretch those hands out, right?
The dangers of, you know, too much strain on the wrists when playing is very real. You know, you got to, you know,
yeah.
twirl of the wrists.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got the Odin out though. I like this.
Oh yeah. Okay. Not a map you see a massive amount of Odin on, I wouldn't say. I would like to see an Odin pick percentage for every map. So I feel like obviously Haven and Corrode are up there.
I'm assuming spam through the walls into Link, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Oh, aLaCar going for a journey. Belgium maybe a journey.
Is that genuinely the word for it?
Well, it's French for it. So.
Ah.
I don't know the nationality of aLaCar specifically, but again, that's a French name. French stemming name. So. I don't know.
I'll have a look at it.
Well, anyway, BLX Corp have kind of been displaced out of the site despite having that kill. And Celia walks into the incendiary, but gets himself back up. No, not for long. 3 versus 5 for this defense here. Oh, unfortunately, BLX Corp are dismantling them 1 by 1 here. Prey and Blossy, they have been the 2 most instrumental players, I would say, for the team so far. Kills adding up well above 30 together. This could be a really great angle for Prey as well if Blossy is able to hold them down for long enough and just distract for long enough. It's not very long whatsoever, taken down in 1 shot. It's just Prey left. aLaCar takes him down. The defuse will come through. BLX Corp stabilized.
Yeah, it's the best they can do in that situation, but Blossy really needed to find something. The issue is it's a weird angle. It's very much a one and done with those kills. And unfortunately, just being accounted for, the swing, the crosshair placement, immaculate. I've got some bad news about aTTax, actually.
Yeah.
They are listed just as international, which narrows down where they're from
in that case,
to a sum total of absolutely everywhere.
In that case, I'm gonna say I'm correct because it is. Well, I mean, I guess Benelux is not just Belgium, and includes, you know, like the Netherlands and stuff. So maybe it would be more accurate.
I mean, Kipperman's
to
Turkish.
Speak Dutch for it, but yeah.
Kipperman and Roosh are Turkish.
Yeah. I think I'm justified in using one word of French.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, and that's where the players, if they qualify to Phase 4, that's where they'll be playing, you know?
True. Yeah, maybe we should be speaking more French. I don't know much more French, so I don't know.
I know little bits and bits. I studied French for 3 years. That's the worst part.
Well, I think a lot of us were forced to do that here in the UK.
Yeah.
Not necessarily French, but European languages.
I did 5 years of German and 3 of French, and
wow.
I think it says a lot that I don't remember much
any
French.
of it, yeah.
I remember a bit of German, but this is not it's not exactly the right language for this matchup.
It is one of the official languages.
Well, no, because aTTax are German, aren't they?
No, actually, that's a good point. Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's absolutely correct. I think, in fact, the whole team is German, as far as I'm aware.
Exciting. We like a national team.
Wonderful indeed, yeah. We've got plenty of fully Turkish.
That's amazing,
Stavros.
Seasonade. Oh.
That is absolutely perfect. Catches him out. Nothing you can do about that one. Lying in wait are the rest of the BLX Corp players, but Prey takes them both down here. Oh, Halakar up in heaven, though. Finds one more. It is just Blossy left. They don't know where she is. Will give an advantage walking into CT now. Knife out. Oh, brings out the gun. Okay. All good. Takes out Pogi. 2 players left to deal with. Halakar jumps down from heaven, unable to get the kill. Oh my lord, shots firing everywhere. That's a clone, don't worry about it. 12 health remaining, but the heal is ready in 3 seconds. Plus he'll get another bite at the cherry. Not wanting to use it, might get peeked at any point.
Yeah, this is a difficult one. I mean, the fact that she's managed to slip the net, but there's already a crossfire being established there. No matter where she peeks from, they know there's only really 2 options there. Lovely hold. The fact that she's chipped away so much before she can even, you know, really get onto sight's a little bit of a problem. It all starts with that amazing, you know, Nade-Seize combo. You know, Prey puts up a little bit of a fight here, but, yeah, the clone... See, the clone there is... I mean, we got a little bit faked out by it as well. We heard the footsteps, we saw the spin around, but... unfortunate, but they've kept it out. We've tied up the scoreboard almost. BLX are not really letting this slip too far away. They've managed to stop alternate attacks getting consecutive rounds here. Footsteps going to be heard. Immediately, Orb comes out. Blossy can completely ignore it, and that's where the Odin does its best work. Not even the angle you expect to see it from. It's just asserting dominance.
Spike down.
And, that's exactly, I think, the name of this round. The operative word for this one. BLX Corp even things out to 9-9. An even amount of ults for either team to gain back an advantage here. But yeah, nothing doing for alternate attacks whatsoever. Walking directly into that Odin.
Spike down. B.
Alright.
Ouch.
Yeah, ouch indeed. But now we have really tied up the scoreboard 9-9. And I thought this was a game that BLX, looking at the opponents they've played and that they've bested, or at least done well against recently, I thought this might be a little bit one-sided. Alternate attacks, they're not going down without a fight. They, you know, missed stage 2, straight to stage 3, and they're going to prove why. Oh, counter showstoppers come out. Only one's going to find a kill, though. Roost to double down on it. Suddenly 2-player advantage, and you can see alternate attacks. They just have to halt in their tracks.
There.
They cross-stream.
There.
They do. Poetic almost.
Yeah. Stavros trying to gain back some advantage for the team after having lost 2 players, but back comes Celia as well. Brings it to a 4v4. Oh, and oh, Johnny Boy with the incendiary out, taken down. Dimensional Drift is being used to try and find any players there in the Viper's Pit. It is the ultimate counter to the Viper's Pit. Kipperman here in Lamps, trying to hold off Stavros. It's a good flash to displace that player. Once again, alternate attacks still have that player advantage, but that paint grenade is going to move them well out the way and directly into the line of fire. And with the third as well, it's just Shazion left. Spike is ticking down. There's not a lot of time left, and that Viper's Pit is still going to be incredibly useful. It's a good reaction there from Pogi, but it does not get the job done. Down goes the Viper's Pit, and Kipperman is good for the kill. Makes it happen. BLX with 10.
I thought that had been played to perfection, but the Kipperman individual play there reigns supreme. You know, the snakebite to go on top, just to deny the time, to allow the reposition, to go for the peek there outside of the smoke, to dip back in. You know, it comes down to the perfect time, the snake's pit. It's a magnificent round there. Shazin, I thought for sure had it, but
yeah, I mean, that is just quality to keep things in hand there. Everything was against BLX Corp essentially. The Viper's Pit, the res coming through, just about everything. After those first couple of kills went wrong for them, but they managed to hold on to things. A lot of the time, facing adversity and being able to come out on top is what makes a good team great here in Valorant. So there is a lot of adversity, right? Opportunities for adversity.
Yeah, you know what? I think opportunities for adversity is a good little tagline.
Yeah.
They should get you from the marketing team. That's what I'm
yeah, exactly.
saying.
They should be using that one.
They're gonna have to pay you a commission.
Time to jump.
I'll take it.
Alakar. Yeah, opportunities to dip away and actually going to cut losses early. I think I like this play to reinforce the site, especially with Kipperman being heavily pressured. Still hanging around, though.
Spike down A.
I guess one has to back out in the end. The Nightfall has been used. That's going to slow down alternate attacks at the very least. Back comes their health eventually. But still down one player, and they don't really have control of the site. They're just holding on to the tiny sliver that they have pushed themselves into here. And BLX Corp are waiting to retake this one. They don't want to push the issue whatsoever. They know they have that advantage in player count. Lamps controlled by alternate attacks. Down goes the Spike. The ball is going to come down very quickly, though, and Blossy just is not ready for the amount of gunfire that is going to rain down upon her as soon as that wall goes down. At least the Spike is down. These two have a good angle of it, and Prey has been getting kills quite consistently through the course of this match. Needs to make them count right here, right now, though, because otherwise you're letting BLX Corp get way too close to the end of the map. Alakar with the third, and the operator, Prey, holding things down from Lamps this time around, but there's still 3 players. The diffuser's going to start to come through. It's already half. Spike diffuser killed, but with that half done, it's all up to Celia, and just nothing for them. Alakar finishes it off just in time for the defuse to come through. 11 rounds for BLX Corp, 2 left to go.
I think the worry there's no bullets left at the end. You know, a couple more bullets in the primary chamber, and then that round may be a little bit different. But it's the fact that, you know, you have to deal with that shorty up close and personal before you can even, you know, hesitate looking towards that. And my worry was as well for BLX is that Spike was out in the open, that even with smokes, it was in a position that it could just get sprayed down. But the distraction, good enough, you know, whittling down the ammunition to be able to get yourself in that position is looking nice. Alternate attacks, I mean, timeout being called now, good time to do it, because you want to stop them from getting that map point, right? If you can deny having to go to overtime, if you can deny them that 12th, you put yourself 10-11, that's 1 round between you. The economy for them is probably they're at least thinking it's probably in a pretty decent place. They've not necessarily had to rebuy all too much. They've been able to, you know, keep hold of a lot of these expensive investment weapons as well. So alternate attacks, they know that it's not exactly going to be an easy one, but if they can deny this round, they buy themselves an opportunity, a crevice to sort of dig their heels into.
Yeah, still very much not over here. BLX Corp have done the lion's share of the work, but they still need to get it over the finish line, and alternate attacks can absolutely stop them from doing that. If we've seen anything over the course of this map, that has essentially been the storyline. And this round's not going to be easy. A lot of half armor here for alternate attacks, and they have found that their attacking side significantly more difficult than the defense, only having gained 1 round so far to BLX Corp's 7.
Have one of these.
Great situation to be in. Johnny Boy keeps them at bay with the incendiary.
Toxin screen down.
Toxin screen comes down and they get a really good chance to swing on the left. They are. It's not quite going to be a pick, but there it is. Finally, it comes on through. The covering fire just to stop anyone and any pesky ideas of pushing Garden.
And that does hamstring them significantly. Stavros needs to get out of that corner. Hopefully join the rest of the team, but with the Viper now, no wall to get you away from there. You're going to have to rely on the other team's wall. Although, when it comes up, Stavros does not move. Stays in that corner. Bossy has rotated, looking to try and distract some of these players. It's working. 3 of them over there now. And a flank may come through from the flanker, but
30 seconds left.
Ultimate Attack's kind of left to their own devices here in Garden. They can move in towards the site, but oh my lord, Bogey just sprays down 2 with the Odin. It's just Stavros left. It's going to have to be an ace to clutch up this round. That is the worst situation you can be in here. First kill. Oh, almost a second onto Roos as well, but the odds were just stacked against them.
Yeah, it's one of those, you know, that you can do absolutely everything right, but in situations where it's 1v5, you know, ace clutch needed, right, is that you're relying on your opponents to make a mistake. And you can see the train of thought. You can see the immediate turn trying to isolate these fights, but just not given the mistake that would allow the clutch to come on through here. But kudos where it's due. You can see the right ideas and the right calls being made. This is an unfortunate one, though, because we've already got onto map point here, alternate attacks. I don't know how much steam they've got left in the tank. They've got a couple of ultimates online and ready, a couple more fairly far away, but the weaponry is where I've got some real questions. You know, only half shields, a couple of judges, and they're good when you can get up close. You've got to try force it into the right angle to really get results from it. And if there's a bit of a fallback here, alternatively, if we see Pogi just get 2 and still want to win with the Odin.
That looks like it might just happen again. Yeah, spraying down completely blind. It's over in the blink of an eye. BLX Corp only give away 1 round in the second half, making it 9-13 in the end. And that is their opponent's map pick, so things should be even easier from here on out.
Yeah, it should be. And that's what we said, was this map felt like a win condition here for alternate attacks, right? Is that if they could bring it to Haven, that's where it's kind of a level playing field. Unfortunately, you know, go onto their opponent's map, pick a map down, that starts to, you know, get a little bit of a bigger question mark hovering above it. It's not exactly like it's not a well-fought battle. It's very close there at the end. They find that penultimate round, that it could be an entirely different situation. We see them keep map point away, but alas, not meant to be. I think BLX, they had a real drought. I think that they very much had kind of a bit of a flat attack side strat book, but their defense side just looks so much more coordinated.
Yeah, I think both of these teams were fundamentally set up to hold on to defensive rounds as well. I mean, both of them, obviously, it's fine. They're both running double controller comps. That's not a surprise whatsoever. But at the same time, not going with like the strongest initiators they could go with, but could be a little bit lighter. But for today, we're only saying goodbye to teams, and that is it. So it's horrible. But now we have the blender draft in. And that means that nobody can pick the agents that they picked on Bind. Not a problem for a lot of these guys, I don't think, because everybody kind of picked very bindy agents.
Well, I think it's probably... there are a couple of agents, I think, that the BLX might cause some issue not having.
Yeah, Yoru I could see, yeah.
Yoru, potentially Fade as well. I believe Fade's being a little bit more favoured in the comp pool at the moment for this map. I mean, I will be interested to see. I think running solo Waylay, okay, it's not the usual we see from BLX, but when you've been thrown into the blender draft, I guess sometimes Compromises have to be made. The double smokes again. It seems to be a staple of what we're seeing from them. On the flip side, double duelist coming out. This is a little bit more like the alternate attacks that we come to expect. I mean, nothing locked in just yet. That Phoenix still very much being hovered. But I think composition-wise, I'm leaning a little bit more towards alternate attacks on this one.
Yeah, I think I do agree in terms of definitely these are... Oh, my lord. That's how I feel. Never mind, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that one, so either way. For the double duelists, I do think that will help, especially considering what the attack looked like for both teams before. But yes, there is going to be... I mean, Posse is going to be spread very, very thin there on that Omen, as opposed to an Astra and an Omen for BLX Corp. You can see that these are going to be two completely different sides for them, but I do quite like the double initiator, double controller, you know, the Sentinel, or the lack of Sentinel on the BLX side. Yes, it's going to cause problems for them in terms of dealing with flanks, but that's their problem. I think as long as they're aware of that, they should be able to do something about it.
I'm interested to see. I think, again, we're going to need to see something pace coming out. BLX, they've had really good pistol round stats, so I'm intrigued as to whether that's going to be a theme we see kept up here as well. Alternate attacks, I think they had a really good, strong first half, but they really sort of teetered off towards the flip side. BLX, we talked about the attack side falling a little flat. This would be a really nice time to see something a little bit, you know, flashy coming out from them to really set the tempo.
Yeah. For sure. Well, we'll see now. This is BLX Corp's home ground map here. This is the one they wanted to play. We haven't really seen anything involving Corrode so far out of this alternate attack side, so possibly a scary one for them. However, keeping the team at bay for the time being, Johnny Boy has to retreat.
Blocking movement.
For alternate attacks, the name of the game is definitely just to find out what BLX Corp have planned. It's the team that wanted to play on the map. To expect that there are going to be some good strategies in play. However, strategies don't really play a part in the pistol round, and what does play a part is hitting your shots. Alternate attacks get on the board with 3 immediately.
Yep, and they've still got a lot left in the bank. The paranoia, they're just really doing their due diligence to clear this up. That spike is on a very roundabout way, but the issue that they're going to have is Pokey's going to have to hold on to this site for dear life whilst the team rotates. Alternatively, I think the window of opportunity, the ship has sailed.
Does seem that way now. BLX Corp going to be heading over towards B. It's incredibly
30 seconds left.
Pistol round from, I think, both teams.
Last player standing.
Flawless. Absolutely insane happened, but it's a flawless round for alternate attacks nevertheless. BLX Corp not starting things off too well on the attack. Once again, I mean, this is kind of what we noted in terms of the team compositions, is that alternate attacks, well, neither of them are really on their favored side. I think it's why you're going to see alternate attacks get a little more aggressive here on the defense. You know, one controller is going to mean that they're going to have to get aggressive at least one part of the map, right? With 3 lanes, an Omen isn't going to be able to hold all of that down. Yeah,
between the Deadlock and 2 duelists as well, it's a very difficult composition, and only 1 set of smokes. It's a very difficult composition to work as a passive defense side, so they are just going to have to take upfront fights. Flossie toying with the idea of more smokes there. There's Prey getting one immediately dipping back out there. That's what we wanted to see, is proactivity on this defense.
Yeah, and they're hunting as well, looking for all these players, knowing that very likely they'd have gone for a death ball here on an eco round. And think alternate attacks wanting to make at least some of their lower buys work into this one, or no buys for some of these players. Shazion,
one enemy remaining.
Sprays down from Prey and Stavros in the end to finish things off. Alternate attacks not dropping a single player yet over the course of the map, but this is where things start to get interesting.
Yeah, indeed. It's, you know, the conversion's nice. We'd be expecting it, though. This next round's going to be really where we see if alternate attacks are going to be able to cling on a little bit here when they go up against matched firepower. In fact, outmatching them on the firepower department. couple of these players, we need to be seeing things in the frag department. That's a really difficult thing to say, is that we need to be seeing the fear being put into BLX here to try and stop them. It's super aggressive over the top of their head. Kipperman is somehow going to find one there, even coordinated, but a team to back up behind does mean the attention gets drawn. Bruce pushing on forward, but only good for one. Prey holds down the trigger.
Yeah.
And Spike.
Very unfortunate stuff. Yeah, Spike down now. BLX Corp reeling from alternate aTTax aggressiveness here on the defense side. And if they keep being able to do that, if they keep being allowed to get that aggressive, BLX are going to have to convert a lot of defensive rounds of their own.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be. The more they let slip here in this first half, the harder they make their job, and the more likely it is we go to a third map, right? It's still very early days and too early to call, but the fact that Prey finds two there's kind of crazy. The Spike gets dropped in a really uncomfortable position, and the issue is that Poggy's going out trying to find little bits and pieces elsewhere on the map, and isn't finding it, or isn't finding enough to really to draw the attention away and distract in a way that is worthy of the rest of the team falling in that sort of interim period. Now they've got nothing really to defend this round with. A couple of Sheriffs and Stinger. Bruce is going to have to be aggressive. The flash is amazing. That's going to be so much information given away about the intent of this round.
Spike down
Prey
mid.
gets the first. Everybody stunned up, but BLX Corp don't manage to convert on kills for that one. And so far, ultimate aTTax barely touchable at this point. Really not giving anything away to the BLX Corp side. Kobe with a weapon in hand, a lot of damage. That's about it though. Only one player remains for BLX Corp, and things are starting to go from bad to worse for them. Of course, it's an eco round. You don't expect them to run away with it, but you would hope that they are able to do a little more damage from this. Alternate aTTax seem to have found a second gear.
They do indeed, and the flanker gets caught out in the open. Again, very difficult situation. Financially, they just didn't really have enough to come into this with. The flash is absolutely immaculate once again. Celia just finding every single player with both of these flashes. Buys them so much space. The fact that they're swinging in numbers as well, not allowing these isolated duels where we've seen the Sheriffs from BLX be really aggressive and find actually the capability and the possibility to spiral. So staying in these really huge units and just overwhelming BLX seemingly wherever they want to go.
Well, a lot to talk about here for BLX Corp. Like, what is going on? Why can't we get anything done? Of course, yeah, look, you're playing against a double duelist comp. I think a conversation now has to be had about holding back, soaking up some of the early round pressure from alternate aTTax, because that is where a lot of their problems are coming from. Is BLX Corp getting a little overzealous, walking straight into a set play from alternate aTTax on the defense here, or maybe not even a set play. Maybe it is just them contacting up super hard with their double duelist composition, and then paying the price for it. They need to calm down, let things happen as they will, maybe go for a later push in the rounds. Hope that they can get a player advantage before they get on towards the site, because right now Prey is just farming with these early round engagements.
It's going to be Velocity with the off this time. Interested to see where that's going to be heading. Flash go over the top. Actually not going to peek off this one. It's going to be Prey that swings instead. Lovely 1-2 combo. Actually it's going to buy them a lot of space, and it's just going to force all the way back.
Kipperman moves up. This is definitely, I think, better for BLX Corp, holding down and waiting for the alternate aTTax players to move into them. Celia taken down now. That definitely makes their jobs a lot easier. Still, not pushing off the back of it just yet. I think that's a lot more positive from them. It's going to bring them much more success, but got to wait now to see if alternate aTTax get a bit antsy, go for this one, or whether BLX Corp are going to try and find a weakness in their defense. They do in fact move into Stavros up mid. It looks like it'll be a B split in the end.
Yeah, and there is very limited defense available here. Already stunned up, tagged up, and taken down is Shazian. Whole site and more the world's their oyster. And you can see the rotate coming on through, but what is it going to be able to do is the real question.
Given already on 3. Not hunting for anything just yet, though. Going to wait for the alternate attacks players prey on the screen.
There's that.
Manages to get one. He's been absolutely immense already so far in this game, but taken out in the end. And Blossy able to find one there with the Sheriff. Pop comes back out, but I think you want to save that one in the end.
Yeah, I think that it's a bit unfortunate that that trade is a little bit haphazard. It still comes on through, but even then, you know, you can't be going 1-for-1 when you're 2 versus 5. Pogi is going to be the one to find that last pick. There will be no survivors. And they get their first round on the board. It's pretty good fashion, only losing 2 players there. They've got ultimate starting to build up here. So we're starting to see things shifting and aligning in a way that they could try make something a little bit more of this half here. Kipperman finding this pick as well. Shazian had to put up some sort of resistance if they wanted to buy the time for the team to rotate on in. But unfortunately just caught stunned, unaware. And that kind of means that everything else that comes after feels a little bit futile.
Work left to do for BLX Corp, but that was incredibly positive from them that round. Alternate attacks, however, have built up a lovely buffer. Keep things going. Caught out on site, Prey. Oh my lord, not able to get out of anything there. So much utility spread straight into them. Working really well for BLX Corp. This is so much better for them. It seems they've had a timeout and suddenly they're inspired. Stavros trying to hold them down for the time being, and Shazzy on there in support finds one. On hold. Yeah, able to tag one there.
One enemy
Stavros, but freed in the end, and Roos comes round from behind BLX Corp. Another round that was in hand from the start, it seemed like.
Yeah, the opening duels have very much been going their way, which means that they're starting every round with huge advantages. Again, Alucard, who was a huge player over on Bind in finding those opening duels, it's a little bit more resistant to put on up there. I love the attempt at the annihilation play, but the issue is with the smokes, there's just too much opportunity to break the cocoon as well. Now we're starting to see it get to interesting territory. A force buy coming on out here is leaving the weaponry kind of in a weird and odd place here. But enough to try and get something done. Net goes out and all through the wall. It's a lovely combination. And Shazian can now just back away.
Yeah, Celia having to run for their life though. Pick on their side, evens things up. They've still got plenty of ults to use as well. Very useful ones indeed for the attack, especially that Cosmic Divide could come in clutch. Hunter's Fury for the post plant, who knows? The world is their oyster currently, and they're doing much better with having a bit of patience, I think.
Yeah, Shazian needs something huge here. I have a feeling a wide swing comes out. Actually, no, it's not. It's a very small swing. No command is just maybe a little bit overkill here. They are being flanked and they're going to have to get a move on here. And they've not got too much of an idea of what's coming to Cosmic Divide. Holding off that offensive from mid though, which means that this prong, it might be snapped off by the time that can really try and crunch down on this side.
3 players for alternate attacks to try and take this one back, make that 2. Flashes themselves, and yeah, nothing going for them there. I'm sorry, I was laughing that whole time because when he said it looks like it's going to be a wide swing, no, it's a very small swing. All I could think of is me when
you can do this, I believe in you.
Me when the recommended age for the park I take my kid to is below my kid's age. I don't know. That was all that was swimming around in my head that whole time. The alternate attacks.
I mean, I'm proud of you. You had something swing around in your head. Like that's
that does make a difference. Yeah, that is new for me. Well,
it's one of those that I was cursed either way. If I'd said that it was going to be a really short swing, I'm willing to bet it would have been a wide swing. This is the caster curse they speak of.
It's true.
Ooh, like
It is
this angle though.
Watching here.
Bruce's just presence alone. Stavros can't really afford to swing this, and rest of the team kind of teetering on the edges of mid here, wanting to be given the sign to push. Actually, I think falling back might be the good call. They've got no eyes on anything.
Nice and slow.
Gonna get a bit aggressive here. It's a good stun. That'll get a free kill. Prey taken down. Again, Prey's done a lot of work over the course of these two maps, so that is a massive, massive pick. Kipperman with the second as well. Again, that solo duelist having to do a lot of work, right? With a Waylay, your job is either to make space or to get a lot of kills. If you can do both, that is outstanding, but, you know, that's usually what you would have a second duelist for.
I also love the push on Celia there, because you know that it's the Phoenix, you know they've got the curveball. If you just get ahead of it,
30 seconds
like,
left.
it's the micro elements have been looking so good. Alucard, another pick.
player
What are they going to
standing.
be able to find here?
Much better from BLX Corp. They've warmed up into the map wonderfully so far. Now just hitting those shots, a bit of confidence gained, I think, off the back of 4 very
Right
tough
here.
rounds for them. Blossy forced to save once again. Does she have a weapon that she's saving? I didn't even see that she had bought this round.
I was going to say, it's not a picked up weapon, that's for sure. Maybe a little bit of an investment.
Hero rifle, I guess?
Yeah,
I can see
potentially.
she's holding something. On that,
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. It is a Vandal.
Hero
didn't
Vandal
realise they had-
expensive.
Very. Don't want to give that one away in that eco round. But regardless, they have ults for the next round. So while getting aggressive hasn't quite worked as well for them in the last few rounds as it did in the first 4, there's definitely the opportunity to do so. And with a run it back, that's probably the perfect ultimate for that kind of play.
Yeah, and there's the play there, Kipperman. I mean, it's in these small moments where they've got decisions to be made. Also, Kipperman, we just highlight how amazing of an individual series it's been already. I know it's still kind of early days, but it has been looking really good and has had multi-kills beyond anything comprehensible. But their economy is also in a really nice place, and this is going to be the Warriors, that they're almost set.
like,
They win
don't
this.
forget that.
I think they're set for the rest of the half
Concealment.
regardless, and that's a little bit of a scary prospect.
This indeed. Honestly, off the back of those first 4 rounds, I thought, well, maybe
Doing
alternate attacks have been hiding some strats here on Corrode. It's looking really good from them. But suddenly it's right back the way we came. Something very similar on the last map as well. Pogi finding the first, traded out by Prey. Bringing it to a 4v4, but again, BLX Corp aren't getting too overzealous with the advantages they've gained. They're holding back, they're looking for other advantages across the map
Nice and slow
to
now.
work with here. Bruce slowed down, Prey doing the best possible job to keep them at bay, and taken down now is their final controller. Leaves them with limited options.
Yeah, options dwindling, especially with probably the lean towards B here. You've heard a lot towards A. Actually, Bruce here, oh, not quite expected. Good for one. Is going to be taken down, but I think that's all they need to know is that's the attention
30
drawn
seconds
away.
left.
It's brought enough of a buffer for that spike to go down. The issue is going to be setting up a post
Planted.
here,
My ultimate
but
is ready.
got a little bit of time. They're going to tuck on in, but it's a really awkward and uncomfortable position to fight with from on site here. Alucard's going to need to be amazing. Converging Paths actually invested into
Whoa.
this.
Yeah, running towards them. I mean, seeing the
Last player
one-way
standing.
smoke and just going, okay, I don't want to be here anymore. And for BLX Corp, it does not work out for them. It will be diffused handily by alternate attacks. And while the scoreline was evened up, alternate attacks gained back their winning position for the time being. But I do think that they need to gain as many of these rounds as possible, because next half, these are going to be essentially an unstoppable force and an immovable object, really, right? With these two compositions,
Yeah.
they're heading on. Both of them are heading onto their favoured side, I would say, on the next half. So any rounds you can get now
Absolute gold,
is going to be
yeah.
incredibly important. Yeah.
Whoever comes into the next half with an advantage, pistol round could level things out very nicely. But I think anyone that can come in, if you come in with a round advantage and you take the pistol, I think that might just be game set match at that point. Awkward angle. Oh, the teleport away. Lucky to be alive there. Celia actually not going to reposition. Forced to reposition.
Yeah, not getting out of that one alive. The information gained far too valuable for BLX Corp to give up. Utilizing the Hunter's Fury just to secure a kill. More than okay if it works out that way now. Shazzy doing well to find the first. Almost getting traded out, blinded up. It is a good trade in the end, but Prey is still there. Kipperman doing an amazing job. And yeah, you mentioned highlight of this series has really been Kipperman's fragging ability so far. Been doing incredibly well to keep up with Prey, right? Spike down, indeed.
The
Stavros.
Fool. I wouldn't be mad if I saw that invested.
Yeah, you need to at least find out where these players are, right? Are they still on site? Are they flanking you? What is going on?
Oh.
Stavros, yeah, gives up the spike because doesn't
30
know
seconds left.
where these players are coming. That is unfortunate, but as one player had to make an investment in positioning, but the reposition could actually come as a surprise. Whoa! The timing is just insane, but Stavros gives away that advantage by no mistake of their own, and it brings it to 5-5.
I think initially my knee-jerk reaction to letting the spike go was I'm not a fan of that. But then I'm thinking, actually, they know where the spike is, they know you're likely to be holding it, and they're just going to double swing, and unless you are pixel perfect, that's not going to happen. My issue is, though, is that just a little bit too over-eager on that peek in towards mid, right? The horn barely even pops before there's a swing, and there's no information on if anyone's even still on the right-hand side of that swing. Stavros, an opportunity here to rectify some wrongs potentially, and no, Kipperman again, another pick.
Yeah, 4 pot shots into the smoke, and the final one, it's always the last place you check. Stavros' head. Now, alternate attacks already down a player. They haven't even taken a fight yet.
No, Drone goes over the top, so much information. Annihilation goes out super early. It's not going to detect anybody. That's a little bit of an issue as well because it's been expended and for nothing. Celia pushed, but again, ahead of the flashbangs. They are just running her down.
Yeah, flashes their teammate accidentally from the other side of sight as well. Shazion killed 2. Every pick important in this round, of course, for alternate attacks on that eco once again.
Cover going out.
Double weapon, looking to find something out of this one.
Be right
But
back.
the post plants are a lot easier with 4 players for BLX Corp, and they should be able to convert this one relatively handily now. Bogey not able to find the kill. Obviously, looking for a little more. 2 quick headshots, and you get another one. Bray has brought it to a 1v1 in the end, but it's Alakar who clutches up the round. I mean, valiant effort from alternate attacks to bring it from a 4v2 to a 1v1 there, but it's not quite enough.
No, it is not, and it's a little unfortunate, you know. Alucard was amazing with the openings on map 1, is now doing a little bit more mid-round chaos and shenanigans. And it hurts to see because you see the right puzzle pieces, Bossy, amazing sequence there. And, you know, the Prey activates. Unfortunately, the issue is it's a little disjointed to try find that final kill. Kind of very isolated fights there. So, uncomfortable situation for attacks to be going to this last round. I mean, you're holding on to dear life with a Bucky.
Great position to be in, not the most comfortable.
3
either way.
ultimates.
Oh lord, in moves Kipperman. First kill there onto Shazian, and Stavros can't get anything done, peeking into 3 players. That Null Command doing a lot of work here for BLX Corp, making sure the alternate attacks players cannot get away. Celia ult invested, moving in. Value still being gained, not able to find any kills though. Prey there with the Bucky, able to take down 1, but needs to upgrade that weapon post-haste, lest they fall to the BLX Corp players. But Celia sprays down 2, looking for a little more with the classic, but it's the shorty that wins out in the end, and BLX Corp by the skin of their teeth, a hard-fought 7-5.
We talked about needing an advantage coming in, and they have bought it there. We see the converging paths, we see the Nightfall, we see the Null command, and it's an absolute mess. There's nothing really that alternate attacks can do to hold on to that amidst all of that. Then we see, you know, the Wonder Wall go up, and that kind of stumps them a little bit. It forces them either to wait and then play the time and hope that they've got enough time to clear everything out and give the space for BLX to set up a post plant even more. But no, they decide to run on in, and unfortunately it's a little bit chaotic, it's a little bit crazy, and they just sort of feed into exactly what BLX was trying to sort of set up as the trap here. Huge advantage though, but alternate attacks, they can win a pistol here, then they close this gap up. We talked about needing a strong start in the half. This is where both teams are going to thrive with these compositions.
Yeah, and I think this is really where the comfortability on the map is going to come into play, right?
Bring them
Because
down.
on a favored side, I think the amount of reps you have on the map is going to come so much more into play, and I don't think alternate attacks have as many reps, especially not as this roster, as BLX Corp do for the road here. And we will see if that is the case later on. Roos wins another kill there. Oh, and a third with the Sheriff. Quick headshot. Nice reaction there from Pogi as well. And alternate attacks, their second pistol, not quite as successful as their first.
No, but BLX, they've kind of just been in control of the pistol rounds this whole time.
Okay, guys, come on now.
I was going to say, let's just get this over and done with. We know that alternate attacks are not winning that one.
My God.
But
It went on for 20 seconds.
I got a little bit worried about this mid push, right? That they still hadn't managed to clear out Stavros for ages. And then they sort of run and feed on in. But actually, the flash behind them, the pop flash, looked really good. It kind of blinds them. The smoke as well, keeping them at bay and stopping them from sending in reinforcements to help these mid players out. Lovely, lovely sort of sequence there. I'm loving the double judge setup. You know what's better than one judge? Two. Three's better than two, but you know, now I'm really pushing it.
Well, yeah, no, beggars can't be that choosy. Come on. Now.
Exactly, exactly.
That's just getting a little bit too much. Here it is, Bogey. Judging man, nobody's checking the corner. Not a single person has checked the corner. That's 2 for 3. Absolutely fine. Alternate attacks, maybe playing on tilt at this point. I don't see why, but that's. I don't know, not checking that corner. That's the corner everyone is always in as well. And the spike is down in such an awkward place too. While, yes, numbers have been gained here for alternate attacks, they've brought it to a 2v3. How are you getting on site? You don't have long-range weaponry at all. A Bucky and a Judge.
Yeah, exactly. And then Stavros tagged down and then tagged down again by the shock dart. There's even further difficulty. There's a nice trade from Prey, but this is, I want to say, short-lived. Bucky, they're just, I mean, you'd be hoping they'd be pulling back a little bit and not wanting to feed into these close-range angles, but actually they're hungry for the pick.
I'm not. Oh, okay, it works out. It works out. That's all that matters in the end.
It could work out, and we can be still quietly concerned.
I can still, I was concerned. That's the emotion I was feeling there. You can see a world in which... Maybe a Bucky is probably the worst weapon to try and take on 2 opponents in quick succession, but still. It works out for BLX Corp, and that's all that matters. And I think you can start to see at this point the preparation difference when it comes to this map specifically, right? On Bind, you saw alternate attacks were way more comfortable doing plays on the attack, even though neither team converted many attack rounds. Here, that seemed a little, desperate, right? It makes sense. They didn't have very good weaponry, but now is when we're going to see if alternate attacks have anything in the locker here for this match. Oh, that's unfortunate for Prey. A no-scope is able to finish him off, and, well, for an alternate attacks, that's not a good start to this round.
Not in the slightest, and I love these advanced positions as well. So much utility available on that B site should they try and push through mid. But a little bit of a passive hold on mid, and I think giving them the respect is fine because they've just bolstered these sites they're feeding onto. Roos is going to get all the information with that drone that you could ever demand.
Held down on site, shock dart goes out, get around the corner. Kipperman trying to be a bodyguard, but 6 health. Completely made of glass at this point. 4 headshots. Roos gets in to find 1. The trade is there. Oh, but it's a good shot from Kipperman, not letting himself get taken down there. Johnny Boy
30 seconds
only has a
left.
Bucky once again. Awkward. How are you alive? I don't understand how Kipperman has survived that. Done more damage as well. Oh, Kipperman on 6 HP, a dream, not taking a single bullet over the course of that whole attack.
So it's the dash on over, right, which distracts, and then the teleport away, which is all just a bait for the swing on out. I'm hoping we get to see it again because it's absolutely crazy.
That's unbelievable.
So Kipperman gets one
Like,
there.
that's all good
There's
enough.
the dash away, then the teleport out, and then we see the
think,
hop
yeah.
on out there.
From our perspective, seeing that is like, whoa, that was cool. I think from the perspective of whoever was looking
Is
at that
that
with
what?
no...
What?
It's like, why? How did Waylay just get replaced with an Omen and a Bucky? Like, that
Magic
just
trick.
doesn't make any sense. Magic, exactly, yeah. Kipperman going on the offensive again as well. Gets flashed out, gonna get out of there as quickly as possible. They're hunting that one as well. Go round again for alternate attacks, but Kipperman's farming! Headshot after headshot! Take out the classic! That'll finish
Go on,
things
bait
off.
for the ace.
4K!
Bait for the ace,
Yeah, go
please.
Bossy's just going
No.
so aggressive though, and immediately Pogi just goes, yeah, probably
Was
not
just getting the
best
round on
idea
the
to leave
board,
that
yeah.
one, And right now it's looking like the series might be on the board for them. So far, alternate attacks yet to find an offensive round here, and BLX Corp starting to clean up house.
Yeah, and that's what we said, wasn't it? That 5-7, whoever wins the pistol round, I think very much just runs away with themselves. That's what we've seen. A timeout being called, I think, I don't want to say overdue. I think, again, this has been where they played it last time, is when BLX got to that 11th. And it's like, maybe you want to use one a little bit sooner to stop them getting to that point. But this seems to be the pattern, isn't it? Just try to keep them away from that, series point now. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to run coming into this one. BLX just looks so aggressive. I have a feeling that this will be the round that BLX just completely switch up and they'll go passive, right? They've done so much conditioning that they're going to be up in your face. Timeout's been called to run a set play to try and deal with this aggression. This would be the funniest time for BLX to be like, no, we're not going to fight you face value. We're just going to sit back, sight, wait for you to play us and hit for the retakes.
Yeah, I think this is where it comes into play, of course, when we're looking at... I mean, every time we come to a map veto, what we say is exaggerated because they're all professional Valorant players. They should be able to play every map. But the prep difference is really what makes it count here. And when you get to this kind of stage, now that it is BLX Corp's map pick, you can really see the difference come on through, and just in terms of the amount of ideas that they have to execute, as opposed to alternate attacks who are throwing everything at the wall at this point. Prey, however, does find one. Kipperman looking for something aggressive, has to back out just in time. Instead, alternate attacks come away with that player advantage. They're just going to accelerate though, go straight in towards sight. Kipperman trying to hold it down, gets the first, sees players through the blindness, able to take down Blossy as well, backing away from sight. They're going on the hunt here. Alternate attacks not finding anything though, and Kipperman is ready once again to use that dash.
Yeah, and I think that's the little bit of the issue, is that the fact that Kipperman's allowed to escape is going to be a thorn in their side, especially now with Pogi finding yet another pick. Spike still hasn't gone down yet, and Kipperman's in a position to really punish Whiteout in the open. Chucks him down. The paranoia is overkill.
Sending himself into the corner as well. There's only one player left, Prey. That's exactly what Alternate have to do at this point in the map, in the series. Again, faced with elimination, every
left.
team you see
No
today
time.
is fighting to stop themselves from crashing out of the tournament in stage 3 here. Prey gets one shot through the edge of the wall, looking to just play angles there with Kipperman. Neither of them finding that critical shot, heading up into heaven. Time is running down. It didn't matter what happened in the end there. It is Johnny Boy that finishes it off, but 12-5 is the scoreline, and Alternate Attacks have no ideas, no money, nothing to work with.
I think at the end there as well, it's such a difficult position, is that time is so low. And it's an impossible task as is, right? The fact that Kipperman finds, like, 2 there, A, was fully blinded, B, getting away alive is an issue. It's also the fact that there is always a smoke, right? There is always another smoke. You know, they go and peek heaven, they get smoked off there, there's a smoke blocking them from pushing mid. It's a problem. And now, as you said, money's looking weak. They've not got much idea. Stavros, I think, is just scared to peek the demon that is Kipperman in mid.
Very difficult situation to be in here. Conditioned now to be a little bit scared of your opponent. Cosmic Divide is available for BLX Corp as well, but it is going to be the run it back that is going to be the linchpin for the round. Going for that attack here, Celia has had some highlight moments over the course of the series, but taken down immediately, and is going to have to use the real light to get this one done. Now comes the Nightfall. Alternate attacks, looking to get something out of this one, but Roos slows it down. The Annihilation narrowly avoiding as well. Oh, the Armageddon, different ult. And, for BLX Corp, well, chances have been stemmed a little bit. The 2v3, they've come back from worse than that.
Yeah, they've got a nice little foothold to work in towards this as well. You've got the Molotov available just to try cutting some of these angles. Smokes come on through just to walk them up a little bit further.
They've got a player to deal with from behind, and you can see that at the very least, Povey is aware of this one. Alakar is the one that is going on the offensive. Finds one, and the second sprayed down as well. The time is ticking away, though, and this is not going to come through in time. Zoning with that nade. Oh, and almost getting it done. I mean, there was milliseconds to work with in that play. Blossy, however, does clutch it up, pays with her life, but makes it 6-12.
You see the idea there as well, is that, you know, if they'd managed to deal with Blossy earlier in the round, right? That Blossy kill had been found while she was kind of toying with them a little bit. That's a different matter, right? It's unfortunate, you know, the fact that the fragment was available to try and provide a little bit of space. But even then, even if you half it, I don't think that it's gonna particularly matter too much.
Yeah, it would have had to have been possibly the quickest in the history of headshots to get that one done. You have to go for the fear of how quickly you can pull out your weapon. Prey, able to find the first there with the Judge, making the awkward weaponry. It's looking more like an extraction shooter at this point, with what they're bringing into the lobby now. But the flanker, guess what he's doing? Oh.
Dying.
Yeah, apparently. Not living up to the name quite as much as he would like there. And Stavros starting to gain some confidence here. Alternate attacks looking a lot better. Maybe that one round is everything that they needed to bring themselves back into this game. They'll drag themselves up by the bootstraps here and get things going once again. Alakar. One more kill. Watch this one out. Something happened similarly yesterday, but it's not happening this time around. 7-12.
Yeah, that one is very nice, and I love the flash. I was a little bit worried about Celia's position. The flash and over does clear. Unfortunately, the crossfire is just really, really well established on this one. They're hanging on for dear life here, alternate attacks, and we got to give credit there. The fact, you know, that Kipperman gets punished, does still get the opening pick, but does find themselves still dying early on. It is a huge one to find, and we talked about these opening fights being so important. Finally, it looks like alternate attacks, they've got the courage to go for them, and they're winning them out here. They're figuring out the patterns in Kipperman's peaks and being able to do justice in these opening duels.
It's a good way of putting it. Johnny Boy close with the charge, able to find two and get out of there? No way!
Criminal.
That is more value than anybody could ever hope for, and alternate attacks left looking at the sand falling through their fingers and wondering what exactly went wrong in that moment. No trade able to come through. Suddenly, that 12 rounds is looking far more intimidating. Long shot with the Sheriff from Kipperman as well just makes matters worse.
Right here. Right here.
Oh god, right. Where can you go here? Roos holding the line here. Another smoke goes on out. Shazian taken down, and now Stavros, a single one needs to do the world of justice, but it's the Judge to close it on out there. And BLX, they hang on for another series. It's well fought, but and that does unfortunately mean we're going to have to say goodbye to alternate attacks.
Yeah, again, every match today is going to be an elimination, and there is no promotion to, you know, quell that feeling. we are just going to be saying goodbye to 6 teams over the course of today. That is the first on the board. I do believe the other game going on the secondary stream is not done yet, so alternate aTTax are the first team we're going to say goodbye to today. BLX Corp, though, they move into the 2-2 bracket where they will have one more chance to get into that promotion stage, into stage 4 against all of those VCT teams once again. So just putting yourself right back in the line of fire. But it was a very, very hard-fought win for them, and I do think as soon as they got that final round on Bind, things were in hand for them.
Yeah, it did very much look that way. And so many people we could sing praises of here. Kipperman, I mean, and I also want to talk about, you know, some of the duo sort of peaks here from Kipperman and Johnny Boy, who is, of course, the flanker, for those of you that may just have been tuning in and are wondering why some of the names don't quite align there. It's just been really well done. Blossy, I want to highlight as well, actually put up a really good fight in a lot of these. Wasn't always playing, you know, necessarily the most thanked agent. It's quite a thankless job, but had some really nice moments left in some really difficult situations, and was being trusted with a lot of, you know, really crucial pivot points in these clutches.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that alternate aTTax there with the side they have obviously coming